Hey guys, this is Allison. This is my first YouTube live, so I just want to make sure that everything is working and that you can actually hear me. So if you can hear me, let me know in the chat. I'm just gonna write something. Oh yeah, this is my first live. Hopefully the audio is working. It looks like the actual stream is working, so that's perfect. And I guess if it doesn't work, I'll have to retake it and post a different one. Let's see. Oh, also, I'm about 4 minutes early. So again, I was just wondering if it was going to work. Let's see. Okay, well, anyway, I'll just talk a little bit about this relationships releasing ceremony before I really get started into the ceremony at 10, like I promised. But I was, for Christmas, I asked for a book on shadow work from my mom. And this doing this shadow work where you really dive deep into your inner child, your experiences growing up, trying to tap into you know memories that you actually can't consciously remember, and working with your sort of your subconscious patterns, blockages, and things that you they're affecting your life in a quite a dramatic way, or they can be a repetitive way, bringing up cycles and patterns, and but you're not really conscious of it until you are. So what happens with these triggers, especially I find with relationships, the theme of today's ceremony is um, it affects something might come up. Oh, I lost my train of thought. Hold on. So, with relationships, a trigger might come up and it actually causes you to, respond or react automatically. And so something's happened where it bypasses your ability to stop and think and respond in a more proactive or assertive way. So you're just sort of automatically going through your life. So we're trying to stop that with shadow work. And with me, a lot of the issues throughout my life have been relationships. So I'm kind of like a relationship um, disaster expert. But the problem with that is it took me a very long time to be able to stop the patterns, stop the cycles, stop what's going on, right? And recognize it for what it was. And so these triggers, as you get older and older, become more powerful, more prominent because they're like, you're not getting the lesson. We're gonna up the consequences. We're gonna up the blow ups. And so um, once you recognize that these relationships and triggers are affecting your life, triggers and traumas are affecting your life and your relationships, it takes actually a while then to start recognizing that. And then it takes another little while for us to be able to do something about it. So, yeah, I want to make sure. Yeah. Okay. It looks like everything's good to go. If anyone does come into the chat, just uh, let me know if you can hear me or not, and then I'll have to watch the replay and figure out if people can hear me. But anyway, so welcome everyone to my relationships. releasing ceremony. Today is the full moon in Cancer, and it's January 6th, 2023. And this is absolutely the perfect time for to be have the theme of relationships releasing ceremony, even though the full moons are actually about releasing more than just relationship stuff. But so the card that I have pulled for this specific full moon ceremony is I focus on what is working. Now, I love how she's got her bow out and it's actually sort of pointed with the moon powering her shot. So this is an absolute perfect card for right now. Now, so the whole idea is I focus on what's working at full moon time and I release and let go what's not working, and sort of letting go our natural desire to hold on to what's not working or resist letting go what we need to. And so um, the full moon ceremonies work hand in hand with new moon ceremonies. So at the new moon, we will be doing ceremonies where we create our intentions. We decide what we want to create. We would decide what our dream life is going to be like, our dream work, our dream relationships. And we consciously write down, what we're looking for. This is going to make it more likely that we get what we want. Um, and then with the full moon, we kind of take stock of what's happened over the past 2 weeks and then make changes. And so, so you can imagine if you do this whole routine monthly, that you will be starting to move your life quite quickly in the direction that you want, and positively moving your life. But right now, if we're coming to this full moon ceremony and we've actually never done one, you can imagine that the garbage and the baggage is sticking to us right now is a lifetime's worth of stuff if we haven't been regularly sort of, and I'm going to say flushing the toilet of just all the stuff that is garbage and baggage weighing us down. We can just flush it down the toilet and start to breathe again and start to move again, and it really clears out our energy. So it is important to do this not just once, but every month on the full moon, really taking advantage of the energies that are just perfect for releasing. Um, so there's 4 steps in the full moon ceremonies, and I'll be going through them every month now on the full moons. So the first step is acknowledgement. Now, I'm calling it acknowledgement because a lot of the stuff that we are releasing, um, we have been taught to ignore it and not see it and neglect it and sort of put it in the closet, put it under the bed, like we don't want to deal with it. Um, but so if we acknowledge what's sort of upsetting us or bringing us down, and especially in relationships, being honest, honoring whatever it is, and paying attention to those emotions and feelings, because emotions and feelings are the universe's way of guiding us. So if something feels icky, blah, um, repellent, or something that you don't want to do, somebody that you don't want to be with, your emotions and feelings guide you. And I think so often growing up, we have been taught to just, we can't do what's right for us. So we want to be liked by everybody, we want to be appreciated by everybody. And so we need to change this. And then uh, the second part of the full moon ceremony is forgiveness. Now, this is super, super simple. You take whatever it is that's bothering you and you put it into a big pink bubble, and you send it love. Pink is very a loving energy, and you say to this bubble in your mind's eye, you say, "I forgive you. I forgive me, and please forgive me." So you're kind of saying to the other situation or the other person, "Please forgive me." And then the third step is letting go. So we watch this beautiful pink bubble just float away from us and up into the air, and it leaves us. It leaves our energy and is gone. Um, and then once we've done the first three steps, we need to um, refill our cup. So now there's something sort of missing in us that was there before, and we don't want it to be filled up with more subconscious things or external things. We are going to fill this up with gratitude. So we are going to think of some additional things, maybe three people that we are so happy have now come into our lives to fill up those holes of people that we might be missing. Um, and in this way, we sort of, I guess, flush the toilet, and then it refills back up with this beautiful, gracious energy. Um, so, so let's just recap of what the point is of doing a full moon ceremony. Number one, we want to eliminate negative patterns, blocks, and beliefs. Number two, this helps to stop karmic cycles. So that's a whole nother video. But like bad feelings going back and forth might be a karmic cycle that you actually are here to heal and put an end to. Um, the full moon ceremonies empty our vessels, and this makes us into will be open and receiving, able to receive more things that are right for us instead of holding our cup full of all this stuff we don't actually want. We're now going to be open vessels so that the universe can bring us more things. And again, with this card, we focus on what is working and we let go of what is not working. And it also returns us to a 0 point state. Now, a 0 point state is very interesting. I'm just getting into it. I think it's a quantum term where we are now in literally in the power of now. We are present. And this makes us able to move in different directions a lot easier than being sort of stuck in the past type of thing. But that's also another video. So this is a full moon in Cancer. And I wanted to talk about the tarot card that relates to the full moon in Cancer. And it's this, I believe, the Six of Cups. So Cancer is a very watery, feminine sign, and it is all about family and the home and feeling secure, right? So sometimes, so the Six of Cup card, there's sort of a boy selling flowers at the market, and the girl is like, "Oh, I don't know. I sort of want flowers, but I'm not really sure about it." And she has this sort of look of sadness or a fallen look on her. Oh, I see that there's one person out there. Can you tell me if you can hear me in the chat? So with this Six of Cups, I think there's another Six of Cups which represents the full moon in Cancer to me. In this particular Six of Cups, there's a man with his older dog, and he's remembering and reminiscing about when he was a kid, and he's looking at his puppy, and they were both growing up and both younger. So it's quite a heartwarming feeling, this full moon in Cancer. Um, so I think where this goes to is that it's about reminiscing and memories, thinking about the past, thinking about how the past made you feel. Um, but a problem could be that you get stuck um, in the past. So if it goes a little bit negative, then that sort of means that you're not in the current moment. And you know how memories kind of get a bit foggy over the years? So, oh, wonderful. I'm so happy you can hear me. Yay. Well, I don't have to read you the video. I actually started 5 minutes early because this is my first live. So I'm so happy that my audio is working. Thank you very much, Angelic Healing with Christina. Okay, so this Six of Cups energy, when you're in memories, and it might not even be accurate. The more you think about it, the memory might change slightly. And so the advice of the full moon in Cancer really is that we need to return to the present moment. We need to see things clearly for what they are right now, and not base it on memories, and that we need to let go and move on. And this full moon ceremony helps us to clear our minds, clear our hearts, and return to more of a blank slate type of position. And what this is going to do in our relationships is we're going to be more open to forming new friendships, new alliances, new partnerships. They're going to be in a higher vibration. We're going to make better friendships. And we can now make new memories if we're in a position to really be open to these new opportunities and events and situations. Um, and the reason I am focusing basically on relationships in this one, and I think it's a perfect match for the full moon in Cancer in particular, relationships are tricky. They trigger emotions. So all of a sudden you can kind of get sucked into the emotion or feeling, and it's very hard to get out once you go back in there. So this causes repeating thoughts and this thing called rumination, which I learned about, where you continue to think repeating thoughts, and it's so annoying. Like, you literally, it's almost like going down that rabbit hole. You're just spiraling and you can't make the train stop. And the longer you're on the train, even harder to get the train to stop. The other thing about relationships specifically is that it's two-way. Um, so you could be psychically passing back thoughts and feelings and emotions and bad things, even between two people, um, multiple parties. And so it kind of like bounces off and then comes back to you. So you're getting your own bad stuff back, you're getting the other person's back, and then you're sending it out again. And so relationships are really important to sort of stop and deal with when they're arising. Again, at the full moon time, it's perfect. But the things about relationships is that it can be divisive, explosive, challenging, lots of differences. So it kind of sucks because you might be a really good match for this person, but right now your views are different. And so it's causing you to kind of step back, or maybe you need a break or something. And this is really um hard to do. I don't and I believe the lesson right now, that the ultimate lesson is learning unconditional love and acceptance. And it actually starts inside first. We unconditionally love ourselves, and that turns into unconditionally loving others. And this will break the pattern of divisiveness and being on two different pages or anything, because you're just allowing the other person to be themselves and you are allowed to be yourself as well. Now, with relationships, I call this the relationships releasing ceremony. Now, how can a relationship sort of um, end? Well, so there's three things. So a relationship can actually end, and I'm going to call this a mini death, and it can end by your ending the friendship or relationship, or they are ending the friendship. So it's kind of two-sided. The relationship may have changed, and so the relationship that you had a couple of years ago or whatever, it's changed. This you need to look at it and acknowledge it, as in the first part of the ceremony that we will get to the real ceremony. And then actually a relationship can be lost. um, it's someone died. So again, even though you may have had a funeral or not had a funeral, it's important to release these people who were so important to us, and they're just no longer there in physical form. And so with me, like, my grandma passed away like in 2003. But yeah, I went to the funeral, but I haven't been doing these full moon releasing ceremonies. Maybe at this point, for the first one, I could also, release my grandma. And that's not, an explosive argument type of releasing. That is a farewell. I love you, but I need to get rid of the sadness type of thing. So, what I wrote down when I was journaling about this relationship's releasing ceremony, I say, I forgive and release all the people in my life that are no longer there. They left me or I left them. It doesn't matter. I love you. I forgive you. I wish you well. I forgive myself for all of the mistakes I made with people and in relationships. Now I can stop looking over my shoulder. Now I can breathe easier. Now I can be more of who I really am. Okay. So this brings us into the actual starting the relationships releasing ceremony, which is really just a full moon ceremony. So, actually, what you might need is a scrap piece of paper and a pencil. And I have made one piece of paper, and on one side, I actually just put releasing at the top. And on the other side of the paper, I put gratitude. So we're going to start with the releasing side of the paper. Now, close your eyes with me, and we're going to take 3 breaths together to connect to each other. All right. 1 in, out, in, out, in, out. Now, imagine that we have created a safe container in the other, and this is where we are going to put our big pink bubbles for the things that we are releasing. It's a huge container of love. And so, first of all, what we are going to do is take 1 minute to recall anything that you need to acknowledge, forgive, and let go of. So, it could be a person, an event, a situation, or anything else that has been on your mind lately that you can keep thinking of. It's bringing up negative emotions and feelings, whatever that might be. So let's take a minute and we're going to write down the names of the people or just a point form describing the event or whatever happened. So let's take, I'm just going to do a time. Let's do 1 minute. Um, all right, 1 minute and write or think about, if you don't have a paper, the things that you are releasing in this full moon. So if for the person who's just joined us, I see there's another person. We've actually started the releasing ceremony. I did kind of go on and on about a whole bunch of relationship stuff. So you might want to rewind the video after it's published and go back. But right now we are in the middle of the releasing ceremony, and I have a piece of paper where we're writing down just point form people, relationships, events or situations that we are releasing this full moon. Okay, so a minute is up. Now, so as we are thinking of these things, and I'm going to put them right in front of me, we are going to be placing them inside of a big pink bubble in your mind's eye within the container. And we are going to say, I forgive you. Please forgive me. And I just took a breath. And we are going to send that bubble away from us into the sky and beyond. Now, I'm going to repeat it's a mantra. It's a formula for forgiveness and karma release that I actually have gotten from Moonology. So I don't know if you guys have heard of Yasmin Boland, but I got her diary for 2022. I have now picked it up again for 2023. And I also have her actual Moonology book, which I completely recommend this sort of thing if you're into the moon like I am. But here is a formula for forgiveness and karma release. And I absolutely love it. So I wanted to credit her with this mantra. So we just let go of our bubbles. Under the glorious full moon, I forgive everything, everyone, every experience, every memory of the past or present that needs forgiveness. I forgive positively everyone. I also forgive myself for past mistakes. The universe is love, and I am forgiven and governed by love alone. Love is now adjusting my life. Realizing this, I abide in peace. I bring love and healing to all my thoughts, beliefs, and relationships. I learn my lessons and move on. I call on my soul fragments to be cleansed by the full moon, and I call on them to rejoin me. I send love to myself and everyone I know and everyone who knows me in all directions of time. Under this glorious full moon, I am healed. My life is healed, and so it is. So be it. So now that we have sort of completed the first 3 steps in the full moon ceremony, we are going to do our gratitude exercise. So this is where we go to the other half of the paper and we are going to consciously acknowledge the friendships that we have in our life, the relationships that mean so much to us. Um, and And these new people are able to come into our life because we've let go of sort of the older relationships and friendships that aren't resonating as much. So let's take 1 minute and we are going to write down the names of three people who we are absolutely so happy to have in our life recently, right now. Um, so, time 1 minute, go. And you could actually, I guess, pause this video if you're watching it later. Um, but I have actually started kind of like a poster board called uh, My Relationships Lake, which is kind of interesting. And when I meet a new connection who's a really good fit with me, who's really resonating, I put them on the relationship lake. And then I write some notes about them, like what we have in common. Did we meet through tarot? Did we meet through the moon? Did we meet through sound healing? Did we meet through drum circle? Did we meet through like church? So, and then I can remember more easily all of those relationships that are really important to me that I would like to build on and solidify more and create things with. So that is something that I've started doing. Um, so now that we are looking at our list of people in our lives now that we are very grateful for, let's take a moment to feel this gratitude in our bodies. So, really feel the love and light, the potential, the possibilities, the good feelings, the positivity, and the higher vibration of these new um, partnerships and relationships that we are forming. And just breathe it in. It feels so good to refill and think I still have all these amazing people in my life. Now, this is another good thing to say after the gratitude is I know that I am blessed and I live my life within that knowing. I am so blessed to have all of these wonderful people in my life who I resonate with. Um, so after that, actually, what you're supposed to do with now your list where you have releasing and gratitude on it is to burn it. But I know I tried to be all dramatic and I burned something like a journal page or something. And it took a long time. I was outside freezing my ass off in the cold in Calgary and it just was not burning. I don't really have a fireplace that I can just put it into. But your higher self and spirit actually recognizes if you sort of just, you know what, you cross off all of the people that you just let go, all of those situations, and you even turn the page over, you cross off your gratitude list. So that means it's done, right? And then we're just gonna rip up this paper. We are so happy that we have just completed our full moon ceremony. And we feel so good about it. So the next ceremony that I will be doing is for the new moon. Um, and I'm going to be doing this every new moon and every full moon. The new moon creating our intentions, and the full moon letting go and releasing anything that is no longer serving us. And I believe that is on January 21st. So just keep looking on my channels, subscribe to this channel, and wait for the next live. And this took about 30 minutes without my little rambling at the beginning. I think it's a perfect 30-minute ceremony. Thank you so much for Christina, who joined me live, and I will be working to. Um, oh, oh, pink-haired Fool Tarot. There was another person. I'm not sure when you got here, but you might want to rewind and watch the whole ceremony. Happy full moon as well to you. It was actually outside my window this morning, like at 7 a.m., and I ran and I took my favorite tarot deck right now, which is the Light Seers Tarot, and it's in a moon box with crystals, and I put it all out along the window ledge. Um, oh, thank you. So this was really my first full moon ceremony, and the next one will be a little bit more, you know, straightforward because I had to I had to figure out what I was going to say. But yeah, go back and watch the. I think this is a really powerful ceremony. I feel like I should have started this sooner in my life. Um, oh, thank you. Okay, so I am a new moon baby. I was the new moon happened right after I was born. And so I am really good at new moon ceremonies, starting intentions, making plans, and doing everything that comes with new moon because that's my superpower. And so you can imagine that the full moon is actually the furthest away. And so maybe that's why I've been um, oh yeah, exactly. So that's why I've been sort of procrastinating or avoiding releasing and letting go. Um, but anyway, I'm so glad to see two people join me and another person join me. So I'm so excited, and so stay tuned on my channels to find out. My new moon ceremony will be on January 21st, and this was so much fun. I think I'll probably be doing a lot more lives and videos. Live is actually way more fun than recorded. So anyway, thank you so much, pink haired Fool Tarot. All right. Bye, everyone. Bye.